The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope that you had a beautiful weekend. For those of you who had the holiday weekend, that you enjoyed it, you're safe, and we're excited that you are taking a moment this morning to spend some time with us as you get back in the groove and transition officially. A lot of times in the States, this is when we're officially transitioning from summer into the fall. So we're excited that you are joining us today in that transition, in that moment in time. And I'm so excited because we're going to be talking with Jody Harris, who is an amazing woman, amazing story, and an inventor. And I think about all of us who sometimes have an idea or a thought, or we see something that, someone should do something about that, or we should create something, or I have this idea, and we keep a notebook. What I love about Jody is she has brought those ideas to the market, and she's created some amazing products that we're going to lean into and learn more about, along with her heart and her story. Today is really about how to empower you to step forward and shine. Not just step forward, but I want you to fully occupy that space and truly shine, because you are uniquely and wonderfully made, a gift exactly the way you are, the way you think, the way your mind works. Your gifts and your talents are a huge gift to everyone around you. And so I really want to encourage and empower you to be able to bring all of you forward and shine. And that creates a difference that has a worldwide impact when we touch life by life, heart by heart. So I hope you're excited about today's subject, that you're leaning in and looking forward to discovering how to step forward and shine. I was thinking about this idea of seeing gaps. And what I mean is, I think sometimes I believe actually that we all look at life, look at things around us in a unique way. And as we look out in the world, sometimes I call it a bee in your bonnet. Like, you get this idea that you just keep circling around that bothers you, that there's this need that isn't being addressed. But for some reason, it's like other people can't see it. And so you talk about it, you share with them about it, and they still don't see it. And sometimes you may even get a little discouraged in your walk. Well, maybe I'm the only one that sees this gap. Maybe I'm the only one that really sees that something needs to be done about this. Maybe it doesn't need to be done, and we start to fade away from something that we cared so passionately about. Here's what I've learned is when you see something no one else sees, when you have a unique perspective on something, you see a gap others don't see, that equals opportunity. You are the first one there. And I believe not only do you get to help close that gap, you get to help solve that need that you uniquely see, you also get to build the bridge over it. And what happens when you're called into that type of a place is people don't see it because they don't see the gap. They don't have your way of looking at things, your path that you've walked, so that you can uniquely see something and what can be done about it. And so I want to encourage you, if you happen to be a gap filler, you happen to see a gap, something that could be different, that you want to see different out there in life, I want to encourage you that not only do you get to see the challenge, but you actually get to help solve it. You get to be the bridge builder, and you are the first one there. If people look at you like they don't understand what you're saying, they don't really see that that's an issue, and maybe even try to protect you a little bit from going down that path of building the bridge, what I want to remind you is you are the first one there. You get to help them see it. You get to build the bridge and then help them walk across. And I want to encourage you on your journey. And I can just look back at my life so many times where I've had those opportunities. And one of them was when I was in the financial industry. I felt like there was this huge gap between the information that we had and how we were approaching the industry and the people that needed our help. And the way we were approaching it, I felt was actually pushing them away. And so I went into my managing principal and I said, we have an epidemic on our hands. And he looks at me calmly, feeling like he needs to encourage his advisor. I said, we're walking around in our uniforms, using language people don't understand that further intimidates them, using terms they don't understand, asking them to trust us, open up all of their financial stuff, be vulnerable so we can bestow upon them the way to move forward and do something. And I said, but we should be building the bridge. If we're the experts, I said, we need to stop pushing them away and actually speak in a language that they can understand and relate to. We shouldn't expect them to come to us. We should be able to reach across that fog and reach out to them where they're at. And he just looked at me thinking, okay, I need to encourage her. How do I bring her back into the fold so she's not concerned? And I said, but I have the solution. And I was very dramatic about it. And I got up to the whiteboard and I drew this picture of a flower. And every piece of the flower represented something different. And the client was in the center. And each petal represented something in the financial industry. And it was a living, breathing organism. And I had this whole story that went along with the chart, the flower chart. There were seedlings, there were parasites, there were storms, there were roots, there was a community. And I said, this is the solution. Like that was the bridge I could see. And he looked at me, my managing principal, and said, I can see you're passionate about this. I don't quite see how this is going to work, but as long as you honor all the compliance rules and regulations, go for it. I said, this is what my people need. This is what they'll understand. And what I can tell you is when I started approaching it in that way, even though a lot of the professionals in the financial world gave me, strange comments or looks because they couldn't see the bridge I could see, I couldn't keep up with the demand for that presentation. There were so many people hungry for the message in that way. And if I hadn't been willing to risk doing things a little bit different, I would have missed out on helping them in that way. And so I just want to encourage you to be willing to do things a little bit differently, fill those gaps if you feel that pull, because there's a purpose for it. There's a reason. That message, that way of looking things is actually being called forth from you. It's not an accident that you're looking at things a little bit differently. And that chart empowered so many people that previously had been discouraged, uncomfortable, and afraid around money. And they became empowered, and they could use that chart and relate to it and change their financial picture. And it wasn't necessarily that I had the amazing solution, it's that I was willing to be a bridge builder, discover it, and bring it forward. And something that's really special about Jody is that she's a bridge builder. And you're going to hear that time and time again in what she shares. And so I'm really excited to have her join us. So Jody, I want to welcome you to the show and excited to be in this conversation with you.
Oh, thank you so much, Rebecca. And it's such a privilege and an honor to be on your show. And thank you for allowing me to be your guest today.
Absolutely. My honor. And I wanted to take a moment, and Jody, if you will join me in this, and really give us listeners, all of us, an opportunity to pause and listen. We move so fast in life, going from this thing to the next, that we sometimes don't build in a moment to pause. So I always like to take that opportunity at the beginning of each show. So those of you who are driving, please stay safe. Keep your hands on the wheels, eyes open and alert. No texting and driving. For those of you who are able to, though, please put both feet on the floor. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head. Close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. And take a deep breath with me. Just release anything that feels a little bit tight. Another breath. And I want to ask you a question. What is it that you need today? What is it that will serve you to be able to shine in your life, to be able to step forward, to be willing to bring all of you forward and be that bridge builder? What is it that you need? Let's take a breath. And see what is laid upon your heart. I want you to open your hearts to receive, your eyes to hear, your ears to hear, and your eyes to see the visions that are laid before you. Let's see what it is that you need, your intention for today. It can be a picture, a thought, a memory, a reminder, a prompting, whatever it is. Take a moment and capture that information. I encourage you to write it down. Keep it present in front of you today. When you're ready, come back into the room. Open up your eyes. And Jody, I didn't know if you had something laid upon your heart that you wanted to share with us today.
I do. It is my hope and my prayer that every woman listening today will release this fear and accept our opportunity to share with them how to release the fear.
Thank you. So I want to just restate that again. You said release the fear and accept.
Yes, accept what we are going to share today.
Beautiful.
So that they are able to release the fear that they have to take a product or a service to the next level.
Beautiful. Thank you. And we breathe that in together. And Jody, it's so interesting you shared that because we didn't talk about this beforehand, but I had that laid upon my heart as well before we started the show, was just really lifting up, and listening, I should say too, but lifting up all of you. Because when we do step forward, when we start to do things a little bit differently than we've done them before or in a bigger way, fear comes up. So I love that you are wanting to support all of our listeners today to really release that fear. And I believe that fear is just an indication that you're going somewhere you haven't gone before. And not that it's dangerous or unsafe, but it means that you're heading into new territory and is actually a good sign. So I want to encourage everyone as we go into our commercial break here that you will take a moment to sit in this space and really listen to what it is that you need to serve and support you. And for a moment, if fear and that emotion's coming up, just release it. Pretend we have a magic wand and we're waving away that emotion, and really sit in that space of accepting what it is you need, leaning into it, and stepping through the fear. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to empowering women, transforming lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you took the opportunity to sit in that heart space for a little bit more and really reflecting on releasing the fear and leaning into what it is that you need, what it is that you are called to bring forward. And I know that you heard Jody's name. You got to hear a little bit of her heart, but I also wanted to give you a more formal introduction so you know a little bit more of her background, just in case you didn't have the opportunity to see that before the show started. Jody Harris is an award-winning inventor, a best-selling author, motivational speaker. She's known, and I love this, Jody, by the way, she's known as the Energy Queen, which I would agree. Very high energy. I love it. You've been featured on Fox News, CBS, and received the Forbes Trendsetter Award this year, in fact, correct?
Yes, I did.
Congratulations. So exciting. And I know that one of your passions, particularly because of your story, is to help people be a shero of their own life. It is my privilege and honor to officially welcome you to the show, Jody. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Rebecca. It's such a privilege. And yes, I do have a story, and I always allow my story to not define me. I own my story. So, coming from being a 16-year-old mother, graduating high school, and the odds were against me, to today being recognized by Forbes as a virtual trendsetter, to being a nominee for Martha Stewart Award. So, it's definitely been a long road, but I had to come to the realization that I had to own my story. So.
Beautiful. And I just want to underline that. Own your story. I love how you haven't let it define you, but you own it. And you're defining your own story and what you're building and creating in life. And I appreciate that about you, Jody. And I think our listeners, as they get to know you more and more, are going to be inspired by it. So it's beautiful.
Right.
Do you mind sharing a little bit about why you do what you do, why this work of owning your story, of really inspiring and helping women to be sheroes in their own life? Why is that personally so important to you?
Well, it's very important to me. When I was 16 years old, I found myself pregnant. I went on to marry the father and found myself in an abusive marriage. I had 2 additional children, so I have 3 beautiful children, Jenny, Randy, and Bryce, who are just my pride and joys. But I knew that I had made a choice, and I could not go back and change time, that I needed to move forward. And so that was part of me owning my story. From that, I started saving money. I started putting things in place that took about a year and a half, and I was able to get myself and my children to safety and not break up my family, my 3 children and I. And we were safe. We started building a new life, and I always had it instilled in me to work hard, to never give up. That's one of my mottos, is to never give up. And I continue that today. Like you said in the opening bio, the Energy Queen, I do. I have a lot of energy because downtime is not beneficial to me. But when I'm up and I'm moving forward, then I'm able to get things done. So it was really being that teenage mom, remembering the struggles that I went through, remembering trying to buy diapers and to have milk and, just to have enough food on the table for my children, reminded me that when I put my business model together for ZippedMe, I wanted to remember those stay-at-home moms, those single moms, college students, women that are in a bad relationship. that need that extra money, giving them an opportunity. If they want to earn extra money, they can through my business model at ZippedMe.
Beautiful. Thank you. And listeners, I just want you to hear her heart in this and to hear the choices that Jody, that you've made as you have owned your story and moved forward. And I love that you've created business model with was this your first invention? This is the first one I know about, but it may not be your first invention. ZippedMe?
It was my first invention. I had owned a couple other businesses, but this was my first invention. And that's why I wanted the people who manufactured it, I really wanted it to have the cause effect. I wanted to benefit them and give them opportunities.
Beautiful. And I love that you built that into your model. And do you mind sharing with our listeners who may not know what ZippedMe is, explaining what that is and describing it? It's very elegant and beautiful, but I'd love for you to share what ZippedMe is.
Great. Thank you, Rebecca. ZippedMe is a dress zipper helper, but it's more than a dress zipper helper. I was in a hotel room here a few years ago, and I was stranded because, you know, those dresses that zip up in the back, and, you know, you had to be a contortionist to be able to zip up your dress. Well, I couldn't get mine zipped. And so I would have to call the concierge or step out in the hallway and ask a stranger to zip me up. So, you know, after sharing that with my children, they're like, Mom, we really don't want strangers zipping up your dress. I said, okay. And my mind had already went into the mode of trying to solve the problem. And so I started off with a very simple ZippedMe. And from taking it to a couple of trade shows and getting some great feedback, I heard that women wanted more than just a functional tool. They wanted something that meant something to them. So as you will see at ZippedMe.com, the ZippedMe has a heart on it. And that's to remind the recipient that they're loved no matter what, no matter if they're that 16-year-old mom that's had a child, if they're a woman in a domestic abuse relationship, or I even have a ZippedMe that's called The Hope to reference women who are dealing with breast cancer. And then I also put a charm on there that inspires women. It might be hope, love, faith, passion, just to give you an inspiration when you have the ZippedMe. And the ZippedMe can also be worn as a necklace. And it can be used by the elderly to zip up boots, to zip up their pants, to meet their needs that, you know, when you get to an elderly age, you don't have a lot of mobility in your hands and it's hard to reach a small zipper. Well, you can attach this and zip up boots or zip up your pants.
Beautiful. And listeners, it's a beautiful link of pearls. I mean, it's just gorgeous. And I know a lot of people wear them as jewelry as well as this functional, practical tool. It's very elegant and beautiful. And it has these meaningful reminders. So I love that you have incorporated that all into such a practical and beautiful and meaningful product that can help in so many different ways, from those manufacturing it and building it to those the end user who are using it. So I think that's truly, truly beautiful. And I want to thank you for your contribution to all of us in that way, Jody. Truly beautiful.
And I also want to add real briefly, Rebecca.
Sure.
From every Hope ZippedMe that is sold, $5 goes to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. And it is just something that I feel like we need to do to support women and to continue that research for one day we'll have a cure for breast cancer.
Beautiful. So again, if anyone is interested in learning more about ZippedMe or purchasing one of their own, or perhaps the Hope one, where do they go again? Do you mind sharing that link again?
Yes, it is ZippedMe.com. That is ZippedMe.com.
Beautiful. And I know this isn't the only invention that you've created. You have another invention that is coming out as well, or has come out already. Do you mind sharing, give a little teaser of what that is before our commercial break here?
Great. It is Yukbgone. when you're out in a public place and nature calls and you have to go into a public restroom, well, I've got a solution for that. It's called Yukbgone.
Perfect. So you will be safe as you're stepping into those public forums, and you don't need to worry about any sort of a yuck situation. So I love that.
That's right.
And something I appreciate about you, Jody, I love that these inventions are coming from a really practical place. And then you see this need, you start creating a solution, but then you get that feedback. You go out there, you interact with the marketplace and see what additional levels, in a sense, you can add on to serve at an even higher level, just like you did with ZippedMe. So I appreciate that about you and how you approach your inventions.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Absolutely. And listeners, I want you to take a moment and really think about, what are some of the needs that you're seeing out there? What are some of the things that you feel like, my goodness, I don't want to be out in the halls like Jody trying to get your dress zipped up? What are those types of things that you're seeing out there in life that perhaps you could be the bridge builder? Perhaps you have a way to make that situation different and have it serve so many people in so many different ways. So I want to give you a moment to really think about this. I think so many of us have inventions and ideas and things that we're called to bring forward, but we're not always listening. We're just moving on to the next thing. And the world misses out when we do that. So I want to give you an opportunity as we're going into our commercial break here to really kind of sit with that and see, do you have this prompting on your heart? Do you have something being birthed in you? Because guess what? We have Jody. We have an expert on the line here who can help you bring that product, bring that idea forward to the next level. She has done it, and she's doing it again and again, and is recognized for that. And I really want you to lean into that and be inspired by it. I don't want the world to miss out on what you are called to bring forward and share, that there's a purpose for that. So let's take a deep breath together. Beautiful. And if you're feeling any of that fear or anxiety, just breathe through that, release it. You're perfectly safe, because believe me, something is not called forward unless you are called to bring it forward and you were equipped to do so. So you're responding in a sense to a call and a need. So with that, let's take another breath together. Get excited about listening and receiving, and make sure you come back for our next exciting segment in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that break and you got an opportunity to almost put your inventor hat on and really receive those ideas and look at exploring and leaning into what it is you are called to bring forward. I think sometimes we don't think we can do that, or it's someone else that's given that gift to bring things forward. And I love how Jody shared, owning your own story, and she made a decision to move forward, and that's what she's done. And I think the way we can bring these things forward, whether it's a gift we're called to bring forward, an invention we're called to bring forward, is a choice, choosing to move forward, choosing to bring it forward no matter what. And all of you have the opportunity in your life to make that choice, to bring something forward, to face the fear, to release the fear, and really step into your story, owning your story, and moving forward powerfully. And I wanted to take a moment just to share, because I think an important part of bringing things forward and being part of a community that we are together is to share some of and celebrate things. So really sharing and celebrating with Jody that she's received this Trendsetter Award this year from Forbes, which is huge. So again, I just want to underline and celebrate that with you, Jody. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And then you were saying also something about Martha Stewart. I wanted to make sure we caught that as well, so we can celebrate that too.
I have been nominated for the Martha Stewart Made in America Award because ZippedMe is made in Oklahoma. And so I was nominated, and I hope to, I can't remember when they're going to make the announcement. It's either November or December of this year. So I'm very excited about that opportunity.
Congratulations. We're keeping our fingers crossed. And you shared something else with me before the show started about ZippedMe on Amazon. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that as well?
Yes. I actually met an Amazon lady out in Las Vegas, and it was with my original ZippedMe, and she gave me a lot of feedback. And let me tell you, ladies, when you get feedback from somebody, it is natural for a first response to put up a wall, but it's okay to accept feedback. And I want to make that point very clear, and for us not to be afraid of it, because I took some of her feedback and some other people's feedback, and now I have this beautiful product that's out on Amazon being sold through a third party, which right now is about the only way you can sell on Amazon. About a month ago, I was notified that ZippedMe is in the top 1% of items being sold under health and beauty on Amazon, which I was just ecstatic. And I still want to thank all my Amazon customers for purchasing it. However, over the weekend, I found out that ZippedMe was one of the top 20 products sold over Labor Day.
Congratulations. Let's a round of applause.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So exciting. Absolutely. Absolutely. Congratulations again. And that's just exciting news. And this is, listeners, I think it's so important that we pause and we celebrate these moments and these opportunities together, and we lift one another up. There is room for all of us to celebrate, to shine, and to really bring ourselves forward and create space and bring others forward. So to me, this was just a beautiful example of that. And we celebrate that with you, Jody. And I understand Yukbgone is also taking off and doing really well too.
Yes, it is. It's also available out on Amazon as well by the seller that I was telling you about. It's available on my website. We have YouTube reviewers reviewing it, Instagram, people who are taking it and reviewing it and blogging about it. We have been at CrossFit events. It has been at baseball games, football games, concerts. I'm also part of a barbecue competition team, so that's where the necessity was taking it to a barbecue competition. Well, this weekend I just got back from a barbecue competition and was introducing Yukbgone. I had to make sure I keep my business a separate there. But introducing Yukbgone to the community, and they absolutely love it. You know, it's mostly women. Some men will use Yukbgone, but I would say it's mostly women, and it's women with young children. And the reason why is because Yukbgone is a toilet seat spray, but it's non-toxic. So, you know, I grew up in a generation where kids always got underneath the kitchen cabinets and got into something and drank something toxic before they had the little safety things that they put on the doors. And so it was really important to me that I wanted to make a product that, you know, my granddaughter, when she's 4 or 5 and going to the bathroom, it's something she can use and will not hurt her if she happens to ingest it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I wanted to expand on some of what we're sharing and celebrating and that sort of thing. So I know that last week I had announced on the show that we were doing a campaign. Our book had just been launched and we were doing a best-selling campaign and had a special going on. And we learned that we actually became a bestseller in at least 3 categories. And now the book is considered a national best-selling book, which we're very excited about, in the women's empowerment area. So I just wanted to celebrate that as well. And listeners, many of you were part of making that such a success and helping us expand our reach and really get this amazing book and resource into so many people's hands. And so I wanted you to know how that campaign had resulted and where we're going with it next. And actually next week, we're going to be interviewing Dr. Anita Jackson, who has been on the show before, and she's actually the one that had the vision for this book and really created it and brought it forward and brought the authors together. And we'll have one of our co-authors as well on the show. So I want to make sure you lean into that. You're excited about joining us, and that if you haven't picked up the book, I encourage you to do so.
Yay! That is awesome. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you. So very excited about that. And then the other announcement I wanted to make is that I may have shared with you lightly last week or the week before that we are actually moving into television as well. So here is the date. You can write it on your calendars. October 15th, the television channel powered by Voice America, my channel, will be live, up and running, and it's called Empowered Connections. We're going to have amazing guests, a show lineup that's all about empowering connections, bringing you great resources to empower you on your journey in life so that you can keep moving forward and thriving. So please put that on your calendar. We'll give you more details as we get closer, but I wanted to thank all of you for being part of that journey and to celebrate.
That is fabulous. I am so excited about that. I can't wait. October 15th, right?
You got it on the calendar. Thanks, Jody.
Great.
Oh, fabulous. This is our celebration moment all around.
I love it. I love it.
Now, Jody, I know that you are creative and you have visions of things that you're called to bring forward. Do you mind sharing some of what your plans for the future are?
My plans for the future is to continue inventing products as necessary, taking ZippedMe and Yukbgone to the next level. And then it is my inspirational speaking. I have been invited. Actually, I'm leaving in the morning to Seattle, and I'm going to be speaking at It's Your Turn, Mocolito, Washington. So if I mess up that word, I'm sorry. I'm still practicing on it. And, you know, my whole goal is to inspire women. I have a few women that help manufacture ZippedMe. And one of the things that I love and I feel so grateful and thankful inside is these women are starting to look at ways that they can invent products or service or start a new business. And they're bringing the ideas to me. We're talking through them. We're working through the steps of funding. If they're looking at an invention, you know, what products do they need? If they're looking at a service, how are they putting together a portfolio? And you know what? That is so exciting to me, is to uplift other women, inspire them, don't get caught in fear, encouraging them not to get caught in fear, and to let them know that anything in their background or their history, that they need to own it, accept it, and never let anybody tell them that they can't do anything, because they can, and to never give up.
Beautiful. And listeners, just take that in. Anything in your past, you can own it, you can accept it, never give up. You can absolutely do anything you put your mind to and move forward with. And I love that you walk beside so many women in so many ways to do that. And I'm very excited that you're stepping into the speaking world and really bringing your motivational messages to so many people. That's fabulous.
Well, Rebecca, I tell a lot of people I'm not your conventional speaker. You're very elegant when you speak. I can name off 100 women that when I listen to them, I'm very comfortable and I'm inspired. But if they want somebody that's been there, that's been in the pit, that has, a hard grit worker and wants to hear my approach from it, then I had a lot of women come to me and say, you know what, you do have an inspirational speaking voice that you need to get out there. And so I've accepted it. I'm having fun with it. And if I can do it, if you have this calling, you can do it.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Underline, exclamation point. And I had the privilege. This is when Jody and I actually met. It was earlier this year, I think was it in January? March. It was March. Right, Jody?
March.
Yeah, March. It's Your Turn in California. And what I can share is when you took the stage, just anyone who's thinking about, would I like Jody as a speaker? I want you to be assured, yes, absolutely. When she took that stage, everybody leaned in. We were all smiling. We were all engaged. We were all encouraged and inspired by how you played with us, how you shared with us, and how you inspired us. So it was a privilege to experience you in that way.
Well, I did have a lot of fun, and everything that I spoke about came from my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted women that when they left after that event to know that I'm always here for them, that there's nothing that they've been through that they can't overcome. And what is your dream? What is your passion? Let's put that into play. And so I hope that's what I conveyed. That's what I was trying to convey, to never give up.
Yep. Yeah, no, you did. Absolutely. And you completely engaged us, which was wonderful.
Good.
And I know that you've put together an opportunity, a gift for us today. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
I did. I have an offer out on Yukbgone. That's YUKBGONE.com. And Rebecca, I'm sorry, I've been traveling for 2 weeks. I can't remember exactly what the offer is, but I know the code is Purpose 2015. Do you remember what the offer? I know, isn't that awful? It just hit me that I couldn't remember exactly what the offer was. But
No worries.
Do you recall, Rebecca?
I do, but actually, we're going to use that as a teaser. So, listeners.
Okay.
Great. So that worked out really well. We're going to our commercial break, so make sure to come back for our exciting closing segment as we share all about her offer and her opportunity, as well as some additional opportunities coming up. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net facebook.com/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. So with that cliffhanger we gave you last break, just before we went into our commercial break, about the Yukbgone, here is what Jody has made available to us. Normally, the starting kit is $32.99, and she's making it available for only $20 using the promo code that she shared, Purpose 2015. So here's how you get it. You're going to go to our gift page. So those of you who have been following us for a while, we have our radio show gifts page. So it's radiogifts.net. So it's radio gifts, and that's plural because there's more than one, .net, N-E-T. And you will see under today's show date, September 8th, a beautiful picture of Jody, along with the link that you click and the promo code to take advantage of this special opportunity that she's generously made available to us. So I encourage you to lean in, get your Yukbgone starter kit, and be safe and clean with the barbecues and anything else that you're enjoying with your traveling. Jody, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I'm very excited about having that offer. And, you know, if you're traveling either by yourself in an airport or with your children, and you're going to be in a public restroom, this is a non-toxic toilet seat spray that you can feel comfortable taking it to anywhere you go and using it. You're not going to disturb anybody else that might be in the same vicinity. It has a beautiful scent. It's just really exciting, and I encourage everybody to take advantage of this great offer that I'm giving to your show today.
Yeah, thank you again for making it available and taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today on the show. And I just wanted to see, Jody, if you had a last tip, thought, suggestion, or insight that you wanted to share with our listeners today as we're bringing the show to close. If you had something upon your heart that you wanted to make sure they received, that they really heard, their heart received today, what would that be, or what would you like to share with us?
I would like to share with your listeners today that if they are looking at starting an invention or taking it to the marketplace or a business, take the first step. That first step might be starting your fund to fund your project. It could be a drawing. It could be ordering supplies. It could be getting your own website. And then the second thing, and then one of the most important things, is don't worry about making a mistake. If you don't make a mistake, you're not doing something right. and I want to tell you, I make mistakes every day, but I learn from them. It encourages me to take the next step that I need to take in my business. So take the first step. Don't worry about making mistakes, and release the fear. I'd like to say something that my father said that only a few people would even understand this, but they can't eat you, which a lot of people are going to say, oh my gosh, that sounds absurd. But that was my cowboy father, who was very simple, wonderful man, loving heart. When we got discouraged, he would say, just remember, whatever the circumstances is, they can't eat you. So that's my philosophy. Get started. Don't worry about making mistakes. And then never give up. And remember, they can't eat you.
Beautiful. I love that. So listeners, remember, absolutely remember, thank you for sharing that. They can't eat you.
That's right. They can't eat you.
You are safe.
That's right.
Oh, I love it, love it, love it. And I also loved how you shared with us, Jody, about the feedback. And you're absolutely right. When we get feedback, sometimes it's easy to put that wall up or feel like we did something wrong or they didn't understand. And we can almost take it personally. But when we lean into it, realizing they can't eat you, see, that was the connection I started making when you shared that with us,
Yes,
that it actually can help you take it to the next level is by leaning into that and applying the information, the market research to your product to make it even better. Because people can see things we don't see. And by being
that's right.
able to apply that, we can serve at an even higher level. I love, love, love that. Oh, thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. And I was thinking about this too, about the market research and the feedback that we get along the way. And listeners, I want you to know that part of the reason this show exists is because of leaning into market feedback. Again, when I was a financial advisor, one of the ways that I tried to reach out to my market I wanted to have these events to thank them for being a client and to empower them in the world of finance. And so I put together these beautiful full day events on Saturday, and I'd bring in different speakers and I would teach them about diversification and rebalancing and long-term care insurance and investing and how to do all of that. And they would come once, maybe, then they wouldn't bring friends and they wouldn't come. And I was a little bit sad and disheartened by that. And so I actually leaned in and asked them, why are you not coming to my full day Saturday events where you get to learn all about finances? I'm excited. And they
Yes,
said, Rebecca, that's why we have you. We don't want to spend our Saturday learning more about that world. We want to know what we need
right.
to know to be empowered and move forward. And it made perfect sense, but I never stopped to ask. And I said, well, what would you like? And so that was the next part, being willing to listen. And they shared, Rebecca, we'd love to have an event that we could come together just as women, just as we are, and be empowered, be encouraged, learn from many different perspectives in a whole woman way so that we can move forward in life, in community. That's what we would like. And I felt something stir in me. I went, oh, I would like that too. And those are the roots at what started the Women's Empowerment Series, which is my live event that I have here in California several times a year, about 5 times a year now, different themes. And those are the roots of what launched and created Empowering Women, Transforming Lives that you're listening to today. And they are the same roots that have now created this show that's expanded internationally. We are syndicated on the Empowerment Channel, and we were, I think in June or July, the #1 most listened to show on the Women's Channel. And it was because we were willing to listen, to lean into that feedback. If we hadn't gotten that feedback and asked the questions and leaned into it, none of this would have been created. And so I just want to encourage you. I want to thank all of you for being on the journey with us, for sharing your insights, your wisdom, and your feedback. And I want to encourage all of you that the feedback can't eat you. It's great.
That's right.
Great information that will help you serve even more, touch more lives, and make the difference that you uniquely are called to make and really build and bring forward. And I want to remind each and every one of you, in case you haven't heard it yet today, that you are beautifully and wonderfully made on purpose and for a purpose for such a time as this. You're absolutely needed. And you make a huge difference by being the amazing you that you are, and then being willing to share your life with another. So I want to encourage you, as you have felt some opening in your heart, some ideas that are taking root, things that you're feeling called to bring forward. I want to encourage you to lean through the fear, to take action, own your story, and move forward. And I love the reminder that you've given us, Jody, that they can't eat you.
That's right.
Important to remember. So, listener, wherever you are, wherever you're going, whatever you may be doing, remember to always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. We look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.